As I told y'all last time, it's hard because people are not using real names. We have J Bird Q FP. This video was okay, and I'm learning on the go, guys. When I read a comment, I look to my right and it tells me what video. So they're commenting on the Nick Fuentes Dear Black People video. This video was stupid. You didn't address a point he made, and and it literally sounds like you have an IQ of 75 and a fourth grade reading level. So it's a few things we'll get into here. Okay. I don't remember what I said in that Nick Fuentes reaction, but this time I think I did come with facts, and I think I did respond to the dumb shit he said. So whoever you are, hopefully you see either this episode or however the producer breaks up the segments. I'm not gonna tell you guys my IQ because I think people take, when you tell people IQs, they take it the wrong way. As I go into IQs more and tell people what it means and what it highlights, sure, I'll tell people my IQ because it doesn't matter. But to say I have a 75 IQ is absolutely ridiculous. And to say I read on a fourth grade reading level, what is your name? I mean, is this English? Is your name in English? This is ridiculous. Yeah, I don't read on the fourth grade reading level, and I won't say what level I read on. Because we get tested, just in case he didn't know, you get tested before kindergarten. I'm not sure if everybody knows, but when we take placement tests, everyone to go to school is taking placement tests. They're IQ tests. They just don't tell people because they don't want to hurt people's feelings. Then in fourth grade, you're taking assessments. The whole nation takes them, so we're getting scored on that. It's not the regular IQ. The standard IQ is the one you take in before kindergarten. That's standard IQ. And then fourth grade and eighth grade, that's more GIQ because they're testing on what we studied. You haven't studied nothing in before kindergarten. And then depending on if ACT, SAT, that's also GIQ. But then some people, like I took the LSAT, and I had friends who took the MCAT. Those are the LSAT is like the standard IQ that I talked about, whereas the MCAT is more like the GIQ. Sorry for the tangent, but since Homeboy says I don't respond to points, hopefully he's gaining some information from what I'm saying. We have Veronica Carroll, English, unlike Homeboy. No one should shed a tear over Nick like they did Charlie. Okay, hold on. We're gonna work through this. So her name was in English, and I actually kind of understand what she's saying. I don't want anything to happen to Nick, but Nick is like provocative. So I do understand, like, hopefully she's joking and just saying that Charlie was like nicer than Nick, so she's just kind of playing on that. I don't want anything to happen to Nick, but I did understand her statement. And I understand what she said. Okay. Berta goes. Okay. You mean this is for the Red Scare? So I on another episode, I think episode 3, I talked about what's going on with the New York mayoral race. So again, if you're interested in stuff outside of race, if you're just interested in politics, you could check out that episode 3. You mean the Reds who are used to be given subsidies down on South are afraid of communism? They're living it. Don't quite know what they're discussing, but I did talk about Mamdani and how I don't support socialism. Read a couple more. Here's a perfect example of another. Well, this is from Willie Bing something. Here's a perfect example of another black dude putting off responsibility instead of accepting that there's a problem. Oh, you're getting attacked? Then leave. Great low IQ opener. He's 100% right, and you fit the bill. So this is someone else commenting on Nick. I think I do take accountability. I've already discussed that blacks are committing crime at a higher rate than Hispanics, whites, and Asians. I said that black murder is off the charts. I've just also stated that besides murder, some of the other things like welfare and violent crime, if you just look at everybody and compare fairly, you'll see that there's the same type of difference between an Asian and a white as you have between a white and a black. And I've also kind of tried to be nuanced and try to explain to people that the statistics are saying Hispanics and whites act similar, but the way the social economics in America is, blacks and Hispanics are in urban cities. So what ends up happening is that because so many blacks and Hispanics are low-class blacks and Hispanics are in like a small area, people notice the amount of crime that they're committing. So it comes across like Hispanics have almost like a stereotype similar to blacks, but they're actually committing crime closer to whites. So I just try to point out those nuances. Don't appreciate you saying I'm low IQ, but you know, I'll let that slide for now, bro. Bizarre 777. So basically you support GNO. Got it. This is about the ADL. I'll have to look up GNO, see what that means. No, I don't support genocide. I literally support there being peace and a two-state solution. I want the Israelis who are currently there to stay. I don't want Israelis from all around the world coming and turning it into a Zionist state, but the Israelis who are there, they believed in the religion. They kept the religion going when they got scattered to various places. I respect the Jewish people as a whole. I see nothing wrong with Jews being in Israel. I see nothing wrong with Palestinians being in Israel. I just currently see a situation where we have Palestinians who are controlled and influenced by extreme Islamists. So I see both sides. I see why Israel has to be so guarded. They're a minority in the region. If you let the Islamic powers have their way, they will kill the Israelis. So Israel is right to defend itself. The only problem is Israel takes it way too far because they, in some ways, it seems like maybe trying to not just defend themselves, but gain land. So to me, Israel has enough land and they need to let the people who have always stayed there be allowed to stay in their native habitat as well. Steve Banning, 902. Haven't seen anything to prove him wrong. You haven't seen anything to prove Nick Fuentes wrong. If you open a book and just look at history, you'll see that a lot of the things that he says is right, but you'll see that a lot is wrong. He uses hyperbole, and a lot of that stuff is wrong as well. It's been a lot of okay, so this is why I have done a few Nick Fuentes reactions. People are leaving comments about it. That's making me think you guys want me to talk about it. Paul Smith 6341 says Nick needs to focus on improving himself and leave black people alone. I'm with Paul Smith. The last one that came against black people got hit in his neck. I don't know what that means, but I do agree Nick should focus on improving himself in the white community. The last one that came against black people. Right? Well, I don't support Charlie Kirk being murdered. I don't know why he was assassinated, but yeah, it was fine with Charlie to question the black community. They have some legitimate questions. He had like some subtle, he wasn't racist, but he definitely had some subtle undertone that was disrespectful. But you know, he tried to keep it classy. So I agree with the first part of Paul Smith, not the second part about him getting hit to the neck. I think I read this one before, unless somebody might be new. Gilmer, well, this came, let's say, well, whatever. I'm not going to tell people the timestamp, but they say, you are too sensitive. He's right. You should retire. I believe I answered this already. I'm just getting started. Go up, find a couple more for you guys because I thought I might have read that one. David James 3071. Y'all sound stupid. Black people own no communities. Y'all sound stupid. Black people own no communities. I live in New Orleans. There are just tons of middle class housing areas that are for blacks. They have low income ones like the projects that people know, but there are tons of like suburban and just middle class neighborhoods and subdivisions that are predominantly black. So I don't know what you mean we don't own communities. We own many communities. The entire U.S. has been gentrified No, the entire U.S. has not been gentrified. Majority of the country is white, and blacks only represent 13%. It's unaffordable because of policies from conservatives and liberals, but it's not unaffordable because of blacks. There are crime in pockets. There are crime in pockets. So not everywhere that blacks are. So we haven't taken over. The whole U.S. hasn't been gentrified if it's crime in pockets. Yes, there's a crime and drugs in every city where blacks reside. In every rural town, meth. Okay, I mean, as you're talking, it's making more sense. White town and where meth and fentanyl addicts reside, and the government politicians are so smart, they got y'all fighting about color. Yeah, I don't know why you say y'all sound, maybe he's talking about other people. See, I'm reading this and not even sure who he's talking about. So he may be saying that people commenting don't know what they're talking about. They're crime pockets, but there's drugs and crime in rural and inner city. and politicians have everybody fighting one another. Yes, that's what this show is about, Mr. David James. Trying to get everybody to come together, address the real problems, and not fight one another. There's a few more. Nick Fuentes is part Mexican, Italian, and Irish. Nothing about that is Northern European, so okay. He's not the kind of white he talks about. Man, everything seems to be Nick Fuentes replies. Ha ha ha, shut the fuck up. You guys are not doing fine on your own. We're doing pretty well, bro. Well, not pretty well, but we're doing okay. Your only professional victims. From what I see from Nick Fuentes and a lot of conservative commentators, whites are the big victims now. All you hear is whites complaining about what's going on. Creating the disgusting culture that keeps y'all down. I don't think so. Entertainment is entertainment. You turn on TV and you find things that entertain people, but that you wouldn't want your child or yourself to do in real life, right? People, it's like reading a book. It's just something that entertains you. You're not supposed to act on it. I read two more. I don't be wanting to hold up, the producer or just the listeners in general. Nick is judging all black Americans by the black lower class. True. That's like if I went to the most violent trailer park in the U.S. and judged all white people by them. True. That is why I now compare all whites to the most violent whites, because that's what they do to the blacks. America likes to keep white trash hidden in rural areas. Poor blacks are largely in metropolitan areas. Right. So it seems like a lot of people know the things that I was saying. I guess we just don't have enough prominent figures stating this on social media. So if anybody, whether you're black, white, whatever, understands this, I welcome you to join the discussion in comments, but also you can get yourself on social media and, spread the word so that people know, the various perspectives. Suburban blacks who are upper middle class, who make similar income, largely behave like Candace Owens, even though they disagree with her politics. Exactly. Majority, like I've said before, majority of black people vote Democratic. They behave like Candace, who votes for Republicans. Not majority of, well, I shouldn't say majority of blacks vote Democrat, but also majority of middle class and upper class blacks vote that way. So there are many black people who act like Candace Owens who just don't subscribe to her policies, is what he's saying, and what I'm also sharing with you guys as well. We'll let this be the last one. It's from Wander C. Again, Nick Fuentes. I guess these are all Groypers. Hi, Groypers. I don't have a problem with you guys. Some of you guys are nice on X. Some of you guys call me a nigger. I have to flame you guys, and you probably don't want to get in the back and forth with me, because unlike what Homeboy said, I forgot your name, but I'm calling you Homeboy. I do not have a 75 IQ, so we could contact Jubilee now, and they could set up Maurice Williams against 100 Groypers, and we'll see how that works for you guys. Matter of fact, it could be me versus 100 Groypers, and you could bring Nick Fuentes. I'm still going to demolish you guys. Well, not all of you, but the ones who are coming against me. But let me read this comment. Went off on a tangent. You are not hearing what he is saying. You're insulted by it instead because you're black. I hear what Nick says. That's why I give him compliments, I think, often. He is not being racist. He is definitely being racist. He is just sick of black people's shenanigans. That's what's making him racist. He's sick of black people's shenanigans. Is he sick of white people's shenanigans? Is he sick of Hispanic people's shenanigans? You should be addressing the problem of your people. Yes, my people need to focus on education, understand that all races are different, and acknowledge that we have our own genetic flaws and genetic pros. So we just need to focus on our community. I do think blacks are better spending time on improving our community and our individual selves. But since we have so many white people like Elijah, I didn't forget you. I just been talking about Nick. There are so many white people talking about us. We have to dedicate some time to responding to you low IQ whites. This guy is not going to get on a train and stab an innocent girl in the neck unprovoked. I don't know who this guy is, but literally in North Carolina recently, it was not covered by social media. It was not covered by the mainstream news. A white man got on a bus or a train and he stabbed a black woman. I mean, this happens. It just wasn't covered. This guy is not going to have 30 priors. Yes, they've shown recently that, I forget what state it was, but the guy on the train had like 33 arrests, or 33 run-ins and maybe 14 arrests. Well, they showed pictures in other states of like many people. It was blacks, Hispanics, and whites who had similar run-ins with the law and similar arrests. So they let people out who have multiple arrests regardless of race. It's just a policy in America that we need to work on fixing. We need to, for violent crime, we need to have stronger, longer sentences, and we need to not allow people to get out as fast. Let's see, you need to address, read more. So this is definitely the last one. You need to address the issue that blacks have a problem. Okay, I'll address that. Hold your own kind accountable. I say tons of things that black people don't like. I hear it all the time from black people. Instead of being insulted, realize that blacks are killing each other. Blacks are killing blacks, whites are killing whites, Hispanics are killing Hispanics. I'll just keep repeating it if you guys keep repeating the same old tired lines. Causing disruption to mother, harming others. Address that instead. Figure it out. If you want to speak to me on X or on Instagram or whatever, Wander Sia, I'm for communication. Definitely wouldn't mind talking to you, but I think all the issues you brought up in this comment have already been addressed. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace. If you like this video, please smash the like button, comment, and subscribe. New shows airing Monday through Thursday.